Welcome to this explainer on You Inc. Today, we're unpacking a massive paradigm shift. It's a concept that literally has the power to rewire how you approach your career, your relationships, and the whole shebang when it comes to personal growth. We're going to explore exactly why mastering the art of selling yourself isn't just some sleazy business tactic, it's actually the ultimate key to your success. So, let's dive right in.
I want to kick things off with a pretty direct challenge. Are you a salesperson? Now, I know exactly what a lot of you are thinking right now. You're instinctively recoiling at that word. When we hear sales, our minds jump straight to those shady snake oil salesmen from the frontier days, right? Or we picture those high-pressure boiler room tactics, or the utter gloom of the classic play Death of a Salesman. We're basically conditioned from childhood to view selling as something inherently dishonest, almost dehumanizing, like it's a cutthroat game where only the slick and ruthless survive. But what if that entire perception is just completely backwards?
And that brings us to the core philosophy from the book You Inc. by Harry Beckwith and Christine K. Clifford. Here is the absolute truth of the matter. Whether you realize it or not, and whether your job title actually has the word sales in it or not, you are a salesperson. Why? Because living is selling. It's that simple. The path to success at living and the path to success at selling are exactly the same thing.
To prove this, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Think back to your childhood. You've actually been a highly dedicated sales professional for decades. Seriously, think about it. You worked up these elaborate, passionate sales pitches to get your parents to take you to Disney World. You negotiated hard for a later curfew. You sold them on the absolute life-or-death necessity of going to a sleepover, or why you absolutely needed the keys to the car on a Friday night. And let's be totally honest, you definitely had to pitch them on the idea that an unexpected bad grade on your report card was just a total fluke. Life itself is just an ongoing series of sales pitches. You've been honing these skills your entire life.
Section 1. The product is you.
So, when you sit down at a table in the adult world of business, networking, or really any relationship, what's the actual product? What are we actually selling first? Well, inexperienced salespeople almost always start by talking about the price and the product features. Then, maybe, if there's time, they'll talk a bit about their company. And only at the very end, if at all, do they try to sell themselves. But the most successful, experienced professionals, they do the exact opposite. They know that the very first thing you sell is yourself. Then they sell their organization, then the product, and only at the absolute end do they bring out price. Because honestly, the product doesn't matter if they haven't bought into you first.
Section 2. People buy feelings.
So why is selling yourself first so absolutely crucial? It all comes down to human psychology. It's the fundamental reason why selling yourself works vastly better than just rattling off a boring list of product features or technical specs. Let me share a fascinating story from the book that hits the nail on the head here. One of the world's largest insurance firms was selecting a company to handle its massive payroll. It came down to 3 finalist firms. The selection committee was totally stumped. I mean, on paper, all 3 were perfectly capable. So they decided to fly to each finalist's headquarters and just take a short walk around to get a feeling. When they walked into the lobby of the third company, something immediate happened. They stayed for a mere 4 minutes and then headed straight home. From the airport, they called that third company and awarded them the multi-million-dollar contract. Their reasoning? It just felt right. Millions of dollars literally decided by a 4-minute feeling in a lobby. Crazy, right? But it happens all the time.
The crucial point here is that human beings rarely make perfectly logical, objective choices, even when millions of dollars are on the line. Experts on decision-making point out that we don't actually maximize. Instead, we do something called satisficing. Basically, we make the choice that feels emotionally comfortable. We choose what makes us feel good. The words we use to explain our biggest decisions are rarely rooted in complex math. They're emotional. We say things like, "It just felt right." At the end of the day, people buy feelings.
Section 3. Packaging against stereotypes.
Now, if people are buying feelings and making these quick, instinctual emotional judgments, then we have a very specific job to do. We have to actively manage those instant impressions before they manage us. Look, we categorize people instantly because our time is short. We hear accountant and we automatically think stiff. We hear artist and we think disorganized. The very first obstacle you have to overcome isn't actually your competition. It's the stereotype outsiders automatically have of you. So, here's a highly actionable 3-step mental process for you. First, ask yourself, what does this person already know about me? Second, based on that tiny bit of information, what stereotype have they definitely formed? And third, how can I package my appearance or behavior to actively undermine that stereotype? For instance, there was this highly successful advertising agency that deliberately chose to wear their darkest, most serious suits Monday through Thursday. Why? To completely defeat the stereotype that creative people are flaky and relaxed. They packaged against the expectation, and it worked like a charm.
And this really highlights the immense power of visual clues. Think about the movie The Usual Suspects. Kevin Spacey's character is intellectually brilliant, a total criminal mastermind, but he fakes a pronounced physical limp. That single visual clue is so incredibly powerful that it creates an unshakable illusion. The interrogator, and us as the audience, instantly stereotype him as weak and intellectually dim simply because of that physical limp. We fall into the visual trap so easily that it cons even the experts. You've got to watch your visual cues because they are constantly triggering stereotypes in your clients and peers, whether you want them to or not.
Section 4. The power of speed.
Let's move to another fascinating aspect of managing how people feel about you. This is honestly one of the most surprising, actionable data points from the entire book regarding what clients actually value most in a professional relationship. So, a major association surveyed its members to find out what they valued most when hiring professionals. Now, these employers consistently hired top graduates with advanced degrees. You'd probably assume that technical skill and sheer competence would be at the absolute top of their list, right? I know I would. But when the results came back, technical skill ranked a shockingly low 8th. 8th. After years of expensive education and grueling training, your technical skill is only the 8th most important thing to the person hiring you.
So, what do you think ranked second on that list? The speed with which they return phone calls. That's the twist. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But when interviewers followed up, they unlocked the mystery. Clients didn't actually expect their complex problems to be solved immediately. They just wanted to be called back promptly. Why? Because people yearn for a quick response due to what it emotionally conveys. It says, "You are important to me." In a world filled with indifference, promptness makes the other person feel valued. Again, it's a feeling, not a technical skill.
Section 5. Selling your spirit.
Okay, so we've talked about strategies, visual packaging, and speed. But what is the foundational personal requirement that makes all of these external strategies actually work? Well, you are in large part what others believe you to be, but more importantly, you are what you believe yourself to be. The absolute best salespeople don't just put on a confident act. They possess an utter, genuine, and absolute belief in what they offer. And that genuine belief, it inspires belief in others. It is completely contagious. If you are selling yourself, you aren't just selling a resume. You are selling your spirit.
The authors share a wonderfully profound perspective from the historian Kenneth Clark, who studied the great achievements of Western civilization. After decades of examining human behavior, he concluded that what keeps a civilization thriving isn't just genius, it is confidence. He said, "Confidence nurtures life itself. We destroy ourselves by cynicism and disillusion." This really elevates confidence from a cheap sales trick to a fundamental life force. Your belief in yourself matters deeply.
And that spirit, that deep confidence, has to be grounded in something real. Mark Twain famously said, "Always do right. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest." Integrity is the ultimate core of the spirit you are selling. If you're truly doing the right thing, your confidence is going to be natural, your pitch will be totally genuine, and the feelings you inspire in others will be grounded in absolute trust.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative question to help you apply this paradigm shift immediately to your own life. Think about the people you're going to interact with tomorrow. What is the stereotype they currently hold of you? And much more importantly, what specific actionable step are you going to take to subvert it? Remember, you are you, Inc., and the absolute most valuable product you will ever sell is yourself. Thank you so much for joining me, and I challenge you to start managing those visual clues, picking up the phone a little faster, and selling your spirit with genuine belief.